and I'm driving home. I got a stop to make. I got to go to Home Depot and pick up some tools. But what I want to talk to you about is I need some help. I have some cases where I'm representing, well, I don't even want to put it that way. I'm curious about your thoughts on First Amendment auditors. There's a bunch of people online that they go to public places. They may go to the library. They may go to the post office. They may go to a police station. They may go to a government building. And what they do is they walk around and they film. And I think there's crime and transparency in our government, knowing the Constitution. And I'm curious what you guys think, right? You, the people, what do you think about these First Amendment auditors, the people that go around and test the Constitution? And then when I say, again, test the Constitution, they go to businesses, they go to police stations, governmental properties, and they watch and they learn and they interact with government employees to determine who knows the law and who violates their rights, right? So, for instance, if you're watching someone and they go to a post office and you're in the post office and the post office personnel, right, the clerk says you can't take pictures in here, or you can't video in here, it's a government building. And then that person says something to the effect, well, look, your laws, your rules are right there on there. There's rules and there's laws, and governmental agencies can be recorded. So I'm curious what you guys think about that. Do you think it's right? Do you think people push the limits? There's a lot of there are a lot of First Amendment audit videos. I watch a guy, I think it's Long Island Audit. I don't know, I think he's very respectful. But I think he stands up for himself, and he's been arrested a bunch of times, and he's won each case. Now, whether he's sued and been successful, I don't know. But I know that he's been arrested, at least what he claims on the show and on his YouTube channel. And I watched an interview with one of his attorneys where they filed a motion, and it wasn't prima facie evidence on the probable cause affidavit, and the case got dismissed. So I get a lot of calls and about these things, and I've represented pranksters, and I've represented people that have, done Russian hitman and the various crazy things that YouTubers do. But now I've acquired a few cases, and some of these cases involve First Amendment auditors. So I'm hoping from some input from you guys. What do you think about these people that do that? That go to a police station, go to the parking lot, break out their camera and they record everything they can see from the sidewalk or from the parking lot. What do you think about that? Is there a favorite auditor that you like? And I'm using this as research, guys. I'm telling you, without telling you, like I have cases that deal with these types of issues, with policing the police, so to speak, and how they interact with citizens. So it's important to me. I said, you know what? I got a YouTube channel. Let me ask some questions. So please comment and tell me what you think about the folks that do this. Tell me the ones that you watched so I can go check them out. Tell me what you like about them, what you don't like about them. If they curse, if they say inappropriate things to police, if they use vulgarity, what do you think about that? Are they just seeking attention? Do you appreciate what they do? Do you dislike what they do? All of these questions and a gazillion more, I really want to know what you think about them, because I'm taking on these kinds of cases. And I have my thoughts, but you are a potential juror, right? You are the public, you are the people, you are the citizens of the US. And I want to know, it doesn't matter what state you're in, doesn't matter if you're in California, if you're in New York, if you're in Florida. I want to know your thoughts on this. I find that these channels are becoming more and more popular. I find that there's a lot of them. I only really follow that one guy. I think there's two that I do. One is the Long Island Auditor. And again, I think he sounds like he should be in, he should be doing commercials like on the radio and stuff. He's got a very calm voice. And what I like about him is I think, and people may disagree, I think that guy always comes across as very respectful. He doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't let his emotions get to him. He just goes, well, why would I do that? No, my name is Sean. You know who I am, right? Like he'll say his name, but they'll ask him to leave. He's like, yeah, no, I'm not done doing my, handling my business. What business? Well, I'm an independent journalist and I'm filming stuff for a story. What's the story about? I don't care to share that with you. And I kind of like the way he does it. Now I have a friend who's in New York who goes, oh, I can't stand that guy. And I go, really? I think he's great. But everyone has a different opinion, and that's what I want to find out. I'm at a traffic light so I can take a look. I'm a big constitutional guy, and I like audits, two audits, etc. Bay Area transparency. Oh, I haven't read that one, John. Thank you for mentioning it. Nation, James Madison. There are a lot of good ones. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that you guys will share with me some of the people that you like. And if you don't like someone, I want to know why you don't like them, and I want to know who they are, because you may like my guy or you may not like my guy, and I can't tell you who my guy or my gal is, but I got a few of these cases now. So, and who knows, John, I think you're the attorney, right, that does constitutional law. I may reach out to you, man. It's good to bounce ideas off of other people, other attorneys, about constitutional issues. I found some good case law, and I'm preparing my motions and my arguments. But I figured, why not? Why not find out what the people think? Oh, guess I got to get gas. I talk so damn much I don't even look at the gas. My eyes are on the road. So for those that think I'm always like, but yeah, I watch them. I get them. I guess because I watched one or two every time I go on YouTube. The shorts, I like the longer ones. I know I got people on my website that go, oh, you need to make your video shorter. I know. I need to hire a video editor that can do it, all day. My guy that I had editing videos is great, but some of the stuff I'm doing, it's just not it's cost prohibitive for me. So I probably just need to hire someone that works for me, maybe twice a week, part-time, and, gives me 8 hours of video editing and for a reasonable price. So if you know anybody like that, let me know too. I have reached out to some of my clients that put me in connection, but most of these guys, it gets expensive. I mean, it is hard work and it takes time. I'm looking for the guy that's reasonable price, but I guess that's all. I don't make any money on YouTube. I just do it because I like it. I like talking about issues. So, all right, I'm at a traffic light. What do you got? Hope the good thing about YouTube, if you don't like, don't watch and unsub. Yeah, I know you do some personal injury. I'm a staff adjuster. We are not all bad. I really do push for fair office. I appreciate that, Kevin. I offer up policy limits on a lot of stuff. I know. I just closed a case yesterday for a nice sum, $250,000 of policy limits. So I know that there are adjusters out there. I've met in the last year. I've kind of I don't know if I've befriended, but I've had very nice conversations with some adjusters. And some cases were good cases and some cases not, but I think it all depends. I always kill people with kindness. I put my demand together and I try to list out all the information, but I haven't done that for 20 years. So I usually seek advice from other attorneys that I work with on the personal injury. I'm a lot better at the criminal than I am in the personal injury, but I think I'm good in court. So I'm looking forward to the trials on the personal injury. That I really am. I'm looking forward to where my voice for someone else who needs that voice, where it didn't work out, where the insurance didn't pay up. And I'm looking forward to that day, and I'm sure it's coming soon. There's a couple of cases that may be going to trial, and there's cases that are filed and stuff, and some I'm co-counsel with, where I've shared the case 50-50, and there's cases where I'm just kind of a referring client, and then there's cases of my own. So it just depends. I don't have a huge staff, so I'm selective in my personal injury cases. But anyway, my video today is not about personal injury. We'll talk about that, because I was actually doing depots the other day and prepping clients for depositions on plaintiff cases, and I'm going to do a video about that. I'm going to edit that because I don't want to just randomly talk. But what do you guys think about these First Amendment auditors? Who's a great guy to watch or a great gal to watch? What do you like about them? What don't you like about them? Now I'm parked, so I can actually talk. How do you go about challenging false confessions? It depends on the confession. You'd have to give me some more information on that. There's studies that have been done. I mean, going back to, I think, the 60s and 70s, right? When you had, and some of the guys will chime in here, when you had people that would falsely confess to crimes, to murders, to serial murders, to rapes, to homicides, like all these different things. And then it turned out that someone just did it because they weren't all okay upstairs, and it was grandiose. They got the attention, and that's where the whole corpus delicti issue comes, right? That a confession without independent evidence of the crime cannot be admitted, right? So remember that term, corpus delicti. That's an argument. I'm an attorney, just so you just had an old retired meat cutter. Let me pull this out because I'm parked and am I still live? It says I'm live. And so you have to get it out through cross-examination, because if you put too much detail in your motion, you'll just have a witness that testifies outside that scope, and it'll screw you up. So I don't want to say you're covert with your motions to suppress, but you may not put everything in that motion, and you'll use what you need in your cross-examination, pull those bullet points out, and then argue that along with your case law. And obviously, if you've done your homework, you know that. No audio. Oh, really? Shit. Hang on, I muted? What did I do? Hang on. Am I back? Am I back? Let me see. It's back. Thank you, Big John. I'm going to plug it back into my system. Tell me if I'm still on, because if it disconnects, then then I know it's something with the truck. All right, thank you guys. All right, Bully's Kennel. All right. So, yeah, as much input as you guys can give me on First Amendment auditors, who you like, who you don't like, what techniques you like about them, because I think that there's a very good chance, I'll file motions to dismiss and motions to suppress, but I always think that there's a good chance that a judge could deny me, right? So if a judge denies me, what's my next step? It's a jury trial. And, a lot of these First Amendment auditors have the money and they're willing to stand on principle. And God, like, as a defense attorney, you kind of love that. Now, I have a job to protect my clients from the system, but I also have a job to protect my clients from themselves. And I can tell you every day of the week, 6 days a week for, as many years as I've been practicing, I get calls daily, weekly about clients. Foley, I want to go to trial. And then I look at their case and I go, this is not a trial. You're going to get crushed. Like, you're going to get stomped on like a bug, except you're going to live and you're going to be in a prison cell. No, we can't go to trial. We have some technical arguments we can do. We can do some puckering up. We can do some mitigation. We can do some mental health stuff. We can do some addiction stuff. We get doctors involved and experts, and we do our thing. Are you guys still there? Because no one's commented, and I don't know if I'm just talking to myself. I don't like UPS, United States Postal Service. I'm not convinced they are legal, and they tend to be infantile. Who is that, Big John? Who particularly are you talking about? I'm going to start going live, from I have a room in my house. I'm going to start doing that. I have a green screen room, and I'm going to be able to share screens with you guys. And I'm just curious, I don't know that all the other attorneys do that, but I'm going to invite you guys right in, and I'm going to, if you're interested, and I'm going to put your faces up and talk to me and ask me questions. Don't ask me anything, on a case don't tell me facts that are confidential that someone could look up. But I think it will be interesting to go live, not just here, but people come on. Lots of auditors do them. I can't name one in particular. Kevin, hi, Roger, so you know, just because it's YouTube, everything offends me. Yeah, there's a lot of keyboard warriors. If you read my comments, even, and I just think I'm the guy next door who happens to be good at criminal defense and PI. I get hate. I've had people write me hate messages, and I've had people email me, email the office. I've had a couple people call me. I can practice in Tennessee. Tennessee is one of the places that I've been thinking about expanding my practice to, because I can just file a motion and I can become an attorney in Tennessee. I don't have to go through the bar. So a lot of states are opening up. Tennessee, North Dakota, Washington, D.C. has always been one of them. July 17th for Denver animal protection. I'm very selective on animal cases. I've handled some high profile animal cases. I'm dealing with a high profile animal case right now. But I'm selective. They're tough cases. They're usually sad cases. I'm a huge animal lover, so super selective. I get all the calls. So if you think about all the crazy cases you've watched on TMZ or the news, and they've been in Florida, I get those calls. I reject probably 98 out of 100 cases, probably higher than that even. Less than 2% of animal cases do I take. Texas, wait, you know what? I think Texas, I got to look at this. They get way too far. Don't do it at the library. Yeah, that's funny. Don't do it at the library. Hang on one second. Let me look at the list for Texas, because I think Texas may be one of the states that I could file in on. Give me 1 second. I saved them on a notepad. Give me a second. Let's see. Texas is one of the states, but I don't know if I want to go to Texas. And I know some really good attorneys in Texas, guys. I just went to Louisiana, I don't know what, 2 months ago, 2 months ago. And I know a couple of very good attorneys in Texas. They do a lot of DUI practice, but I'm a firm believer that DUI practice sets you up for everything. I've learned so much in my DUI practice. It's allowed me to handle 10, 20 life cases, human trafficking cases, various domestic cases. There's so much research and investigation if you really do DUI. Now, look, if you type in Google, every guy in town does DUI. How many people do DUI well? That's a handful. And there's a handful of really good DUI attorneys and attorneys in Texas that I've met. I can't stand animal or child cruelty and can't even read those news stories. Yeah, it is hard. I don't take any of the children's sex cases. I don't take any of those things. I don't even take the child pornography anymore. It's dark. It's saddening. It's when you say it takes a part of your soul, when you take a case and then you go into a police department and you meet with a state attorney and prosecutors and DEA, and they turn the video on and you watch children, 2-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old, having sex with grown men and women, it hurts you. It hurt. I mean, if you can't see it in my face, in my eyes, like it's devastating, and I'm just not interested in doing it. And I walk away from a lot of money because the sex cases are the big money cases, but I'm not interested in doing those. Have I handled a rape case? Yes, that kind of thing, where people have been accused but were innocent, and luckily I was able to help, with those kinds of things. So, but I'm selective. Let's see. We need First Amendment owners. Our government has gotten completely out of control. The founding fathers would be rolling in their graves if they knew how badly we were attacked. Listen, I think that's a statement or sentiment that a lot of people believe in, and I don't know how to say your name, Talon of God. Is that Talon of God? But I don't know if you antagonize it. But what's antagonizing, right? It's subjective. And that's why I want to know your guys' opinion. These cases aren't big enough cases where, you're going to be able to do mock trials and go in and, and spend that amount of time, like you would on a first degree, life felony case, where you call up, I have law professors I can call and say, hey, I'd like to come into school and do a mock trial, over a 3-day period. Can you get your classes together? Can you get volunteers? Can you do extra credit? And, there's professors and community colleges, law schools that I've done this with. So, but the First Amendment cases are a little bit different. It's not just emotion. There's law on it. There's, obviously we know, right? You can be filmed in public. So, I just want to know from you guys, who you like, who you don't like, and the reasons you like them and the reasons you don't like them, because I don't know where the people that I'm representing, where they fall in the line. I have a personal opinion, but my opinion doesn't mean squat, right? It's what I advocate in court. And as everyone knows, right, defense attorneys take cases that they totally disagree with their client, but it's the art of litigation, right? I'll tell my client, I've had clients I go, dude, I think you're totally wrong, but you hired me, and I'll tell them before they hire me, so there's no communication. I totally disagree, but I can go argue this. Do you want someone that believes in you 100%? Of course. But do you want someone that's going to be your voice and argue, even if their personal beliefs? Because I think that takes a skill to do. Now, again, what am I, think about it, guys. Does anyone advocate, like I'm at Home Depot right now. So there you go. Like I'm at Home Depot, right? And I go in and prices, right? Everything's gone up. Lumber's gone up, all these different things. Do I advocate for a guy that steals a saw out of the thing? Well, as a criminal defense attorney, I have to. Do I want anyone to steal out of Home Depot? Of course not. Do I want anyone to steal from me? Of course not. Are you? No, nobody advocates that, right? But there's different situations that you can mitigate, or there's technical legal arguments that you can present a quality defense, and a lot of guilty people go free, because when you have a truly innocent person, you want to make sure you got the skills, and you got to learn the skills by working and doing over and over. So Rick Simon in Michigan, trying to find a lawyer because my employer withheld $2,225 in pay after I got let go. I'm a truck driver. So you're going to call it employment lawyer. That's what you're going to call for that. You're going to Google in your area in Michigan, whatever county or city you live in, you're going to find employment attorneys. And you're going to hopefully have your log of when you worked and what you did. And that employment attorney is going to go get you that money. So Rick Simon, reach out to those kinds of people. That's what they do. I like honor. Your oath, civil rights investigations, very prepared and composed. I like honor your oath, civil rights investigations. I don't know who that is, Big John. So I'm going to definitely check them out. Anyone else with some comments that will help me to find, because and if there's particular videos, man, send me a link, send it right in the chat. I really want to, and of course I know I can search, but like I have faith in you guys, right? If you subscribe to my channel and you appreciate what I'm doing, like you're going to be part of a case in effect. I can't tell you what the case is, but I promise you when the case is over, if the client gives me permission, I'll tell you all about the case and what I looked at and what I investigated and the information I got from you guys and what case law I presented. And I'll probably even present audio and stuff like that of the hearing. Again, I got a couple of tough judges that I'm going to be presenting these cases to with these different people, but I'm very optimistic. I'm very optimistic. I'm not necessarily optimistic about the judges, but I'm optimistic in my research, my case law, and my diligence in putting together the right motions. And even if I'm denied, I got to tell you, like several cases, and I think on these cases, a handful of them, even if I get denied on my motion to suppress, I think my clients will go forward to go to trial, and I may have a better shot of winning my cases with a jury trial. I know that sounds crazy because usually it's the technical issues that you win on, right? Everyone goes, well, how often do you go to trial? Not a lot, because no one wants to go. And if you win in a technical argument, then you don't go to trial. So the guys that go to trial every day, you know why they're going to trial? Because they have loser cases. And how many do they win? So ask percentages of that when you talk to your lawyers. Very hard to get, there's a guy, it's funny. There's a guy in my old office, real nice guy. What the hell was his name? Smith. Nice guy, really nice guy, older attorney. We would walk to court together, sometimes walking out of the building. And he would tell me about, the 80s and how they would drop off like, buckets of cash and, $100,000, $500,000 on drug cases and the money-making days of criminal defense. But he had a picture up of a guy who had like 303 murder trials. And we're talking like the early 1900s. So think 1900 to 1925 or something. And the guy had like 304 murder trials, all not guilty. And I was like, is that true? He's like, yeah, look it up. He's like, the guy exists. I'm like, holy, you know how good you have to be? Now, I don't know, maybe back in those days you could buy off people. I don't know. But holy shit, can you imagine having 300 trials? Can you imagine your favorite baseball player getting up to bat 300 times in a row? And every time, assuming they couldn't walk him, he hit a home run? Can you imagine that? Every single time you get up to bat, you hit a home run? Or every time you handed the ball to your favorite running back, he'd break through the line and go, X amount of yards for a touchdown? Or every time a quarterback, had the ball in his hand, he threw a touchdown pass? Like, it doesn't exist, guys. Like a boxer that's undefeated, forget Floyd. Floyd picked his fights. I'm a fan of Floyd, very, very talented boxer, but the best ever thing, get over that. That's not the best ever. Let's see. Rick Simon called a few employments. They are not interested. No shit. Well, you got to call some more, Rick. Call more lawyers. Talk to them about the stuff. See what evidence you can present them, and it may help you. Mateus, how's it going, Mateus? Lawyer told me earlier today that it would be so difficult to get the money and not worth his while. So there are federal employment laws, there's state employment laws. I don't know a lot about employment law, but I think that if you play with people's money, that there are fines that the state and the government can do, and there could be, I don't know. I had a friend in New York who got sued for paying someone like under the table, and he had to pay kind of like crazy fines, like $50,000 fine. So it might only be $2,000 for you, but it could be $50,000 in fines, and maybe there's a provision for legal fees. The other thing you can do, Rick, is you can go to small claims court, right? Check out the small claims court, go get a form from the courthouse for free, read through that and see what it says, and sue the guy for $2,225 plus your filing fee, and talk to a couple small claims lawyers. Message retracted. Lawyer told me earlier there would be no there. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, guys, I'm at Home Depot. I got to go pick up some tools. I bought my father-in-law his own tools, so he wouldn't use my tools. I'm picky. I don't like people playing with my toys. So I ordered some tools from my father-in-law. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you. I know there's not a lot of you, but I do appreciate your comments. I'm going to leave this on live, and hopefully some more people will comment, and I will look up some more of these First Amendment people. And I may do some research and contact their lawyers. So if you know a First Amendment auditor who's been successful after arrest, right, whether it be trespassing or resisting with violence or, whatever they get charged with, if you know anyone that has had those charges being a First Amendment auditor and were successful, and you know who their attorney was, let me know, or the jurisdiction. I'll look it up, because most of that's public record, and I could take a look at their motions and maybe reach out to those attorneys. And, I haven't done a lot of First Amendment auditor cases, but all of a sudden I have, a little more than a handful. So they're here, and I'm going to do them, and, I'm going to make my arguments. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you soon, and have a great evening. Bye.